Hello and welcome to BeamNG Drive. I'm davidinark, and today we're going to see what happens when you, accidentally leave your machine recording while you have a Burnside Wagon idling in the game. How long does it take for the car to overheat because the fan isn't generating enough airflow to cool the engine? Well, if you stick around long enough, you'll find out. Or, okay, you could just fast forward. Or for that matter, you know how long the video is, so you could probably guess how long it'll be before the engine stalls out. Then again, maybe I just made the video as long as I did so people would come by and watch it. Why would I make a video that's compressing an hour's worth of recording into about 6 minutes if I just wanted people to watch something goofy? Really, who does that kind of thing? Surely not me, right? Why would I do that? I would have to have at least some other reason for putting out a 6-minute BeamNG video, right? Okay, maybe not. Look, maybe I just thought it'd be fun to time-lapse what happens when you leave an old car out in the sun just idling for too long. Just sitting there, hanging out, idling as time passes. Okay. All right, I have a confession. See, actually, I didn't even know what happened. I had been recording a new tutorial with high def, and after we disconnected, I got up to go do some other things and forgot to stop the recording. So, actually, when I sat down again, it had been recording for a little over 3 hours. Yeah. So, in that 3-hour time frame, I happened to catch this little nugget. When I came back, of course, the car was steaming and all that good stuff, and the engine was broken, and it was, obviously the engine was off since it was broken, but anyway, so I thought I'd chop up the video and go figure out how long it was from the time I had basically parked the car in place until the engine gave out and the car broke down and wouldn't start anymore. So this is the result. Now, rather than make you watch an hour-long video, spoiler alert, takes about an hour, I compressed this down into basically 6 minutes. Why 6 minutes? I don't know. Just for whatever reason, that's kind of where things worked out. I don't know. And I'm not exactly sure if the timer in the upper corner is going to be exactly accurate. I had to go find a timer and then try to time match it to what was going on. So it's close enough. You get the general idea. Basically, it takes about an hour of just idling for the Burnside to, burn out. So there you go. That's the gist of the video, folks. That's why you're here, to listen to me ramble and to watch this car just die sitting out on a map that we were working with. So he and I had we reconnected after this had taken place, and I was talking to him about it, and so we actually got into a really cool discussion about the engine thermodynamics and what's all happening, especially with these older engines that when it's idling, the fan in these cars didn't have any kind of a mechanism to regulate that airflow into the engine to help keep it cool. So basically, if the car wasn't moving, then the fan would only move so much air while it was sitting there, which that's basically how all cars work, really. But today the fans can ramp up, or they can slow down, or do what they need to do to help regulate the airflow into the radiator, help keep things cool. In old cars like this, not so much. The fan's running, and the fact that you are driving, when you're driving the car, that's help pushing that air to help cool the radiator, keep the engine cool, keep the coolant temperature down. But when it's just sitting there idling, it pretty much overheats the engine, and things just kind of fall apart. So there you go. So more information that you probably wanted to know about old cars, but in the meantime, feel free to hang out and watch the Burnside just idling here, temperature rising, pieces and parts of the engine falling apart, and eventually the whole thing just dies on the vine. So that's coming up here actually shortly, now that I've been talking as long as I have. So yeah, so that's the general gist. You never know what I'm going to come up with here on BeamNG Drive, because I'm pretty much going to put out whatever I come across, whatever pops in my head. That's how I operate. Something jumps in there and I'm like, hey, what happens if we do that? Or in this case, I just happened to come back across the fact that the vehicle died, and I wanted to see about how long it took for an idling Burnside to completely fall apart. So now we all know. There you go. Got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories? Feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.